Good evening, it's 8 o'clock. The top headlines tonight. Terrorists killed Kashmiri Pandit Sunil Bhatt in a Shopian orchard. This is the 7th targeted killings of Kashmiri Pandits in 6 months by terrorists. The local administration say we had given security to his family. He had gone to his fields, which is where he was killed. A controversial Chinese spy ship docks in a Sri Lanka port. Sri Lanka's U-turn regarding allowing the Chinese ship permission to come here after India expressed concern. India's concern is that the ship can monitor India missiles. Mithais and celebrations to greet convicted rapists convicted of rape of a pregnant woman, Bilkis Bano, in 2002. 11 men walked free today. They were found guilty and convicted by a court, yet they released under Gujarat government state policy despite central rules against remission for rape convicts. A 9-year-old Dalit boy's murder for drinking water from his teacher's pot. Outrage grows. Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot faces the heat as a Congress MLA resigns. Arch rival Sachin Pilot reaches the village. Ashok Gehlot sends in ministers too. Amul and Mother Dairy, the country's largest milk producers, raise prices by 2 rupees from tomorrow. This is the second 2 rupees hike in milk prices this year. The heat wave and the extended summer are blamed for higher fodder costs, says Mother Dairy. They had no choice but to raise costs. We're not running, we're just managing the government. A minister's leaked audio embarrasses the Bommai government once again. Fellow ministers call for his resignation. Bommai says it will be sorted out. And a crocodile is found out on the streets in a Madhya Pradesh town amid record floods above normal rain across Madhya Pradesh this August. Our lead story tonight is the shocking killing of yet another Kashmiri Pandit man, Sunil Bhatt, in his orchards in Shopian in the Kashmir Valley. Terrorists gunned him down today as he had gone to his fields. The local administration say this family had never left their village and hadn't asked for any transfer. They aren't government employees. They were given security, but Sunil Bhatt had gone to his fields where he was brutally gunned down.
The grieving family of Sunil Kumar Bhatt, a Kashmiri Pandit killed by terrorists in a targeted attack. Bhatt and his brother Pintu Kumar were in their apple orchard in Shopian when 2 terrorists came, asked their names and shot them point blank. 35-year-old Sunil leaves behind 4 daughters and his wife. Sunil's brother is in the army base hospital in Srinagar. Their angry relatives heckled Kashmir's divisional commissioner, saying they too feared an attack and wanted to be relocated.
मैं 4 बार ड्यूकॉम के पास गया, डीसी के पास गया, उन्होंने एक बात ये हमारी नहीं सुना, बोला अपने गांव में बैठो, उधरी मारो, उधरी करो अपना काम. इसलिए आज हमें ये देखना पड़ा. उनको बोला यहाँ हर जगह सीआरपी डाली, हर जगह पुलिस डाला, यहाँ क्या दिया हमें.
Kashmir's divisional commissioner says Pandit families who are living in Chotigam village had asked for security after a Kashmiri Pandit shopkeeper was killed last April, but he denies that they asked to be relocated.
उन्होंने कहा कि हम यहाँ से नहीं जा सकते, खेती बाड़ी है, तो हमने वहाँ गांव में पुलिस की गार्ड लगाई है. अभी भी गार्ड वहाँ है कहने पर. ये नॉन माइग्रेंट कश्मीरी पंडित है, कभी 30 साल में माइग्रेट नहीं हुए.
Soon after today's incidents, there were protests once again in Jammu.
जब तक वहाँ टारगेट किलिंग बंद नहीं होती है, जहाँ वहाँ के हालात नॉर्मल नहीं होते हैं, हमारे जितने भी मुलाजिम 24 डिपार्टमेंट के जो मुलाजिम हैं उनको जम्मू डिवीजन में डिप्लॉय करके उनकी सर्विस ली जाए और हमारी एक ट्रांसफर पॉलिसी बनाई जाए.
This Pandit family has never migrated from the valley. Today they were brutally targeted. Yet another targeted attack and yet another killing of innocent civilian in the valley. Sunil Kumar Bhatt was clearly killed because of who he was. 2 days ago, J&K's Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha talked about finishing militancy within 1 year. What followed was a series of attacks. In Shopian, Nazir Masoodi for NDTV.
Another tragic killing there, but the other big story this evening is a Chinese spy ship. That's what it's been called, has now docked in a Sri Lanka port. The Chinese ambassador was there to release it. Vishnu, why is this so controversial?
Well, it is quite controversial, and I'll tell you why, Sonia. In simple terms, let's explain what the Yuan Wang, that's the name of the Chinese spy ship, what exactly it is that it's meant to do. First, let's bring up a map. and on this map we should be able to see Hambantota. So Sri Lanka, and to the southeast of Sri Lanka is the port of Hambantota. Sri Lanka lies to the south of India, and that's the ship, the Yuanwang 5, which has docked this morning at 8:30 a.m. in Hambantota. On the next image that we bring you, you can actually see an arrow that denotes 3,400 kilometers from Abdul Kalam Island, that's previously known as Wheeler Island. Though areas marked over here in red are the exact areas where India did a missile test in 2019. Now, China needs to get this ship close to these areas to track the missiles in flight. That's what it is trying to do by operating off the eastern coast of Sri Lanka. In fact, the Chinese haven't been waiting at all. Just prior, after being told to defer their arrival in Sri Lanka a few days back, they went ahead and carried out what seemed to be exercises off the southeast coast of Sri Lanka, maneuvers which could simulate what they may actually do when they do eventually get around to tracking Indian missiles. So there was a lot of fanfare today when the Chinese got their ship into Hambantota. Let's listen to what the Chinese ambassador to Sri Lanka had to say.
The vessels, the scientific research vessels, successfully and smoothly the port dock the Hambantota port. Yeah. So I think it's a very normal exchanges between our two countries because China and Sri Lanka enjoy non-standing friendship.
Why do you think there was such a big diplomatic such a tussle in the last few days?
I don't know. Maybe this is life. It's natural.
All right, so the Chinese diplomat playing it down, but the images that you actually see now are of an aircraft which India gifted Sri Lanka yesterday. It's a Dornier Do-228 maritime reconnaissance aircraft. India has given Sri Lanka more than $1 billion worth of aid because it faces an economic crisis. The day after this aircraft was given on India's Independence Day, the Chinese come visiting with that spy ship. Sonia?
So really, I think the irony is there of Sri Lanka maintaining that India has been its true friend and then going ahead and allowing China permission. Thanks so much, Vishnu, for that. Well, let's just go across to another very important story we're tracking today. The fact that 11 men convicted of gang rape. So there's no question about them being guilty or not. They've been convicted by a High Court of gang rape, have walked free. Now, these men are convicted of raping a pregnant woman in the 2002 Gujarat riots, Bilkis Bano. And today we can see that they've been given sweets. They've been giving sweets. People are touching their feet. These are their relatives. As they're released from jail, now they were sentenced to life, but they're out now because of a Gujarat government remission policy. Yet, this is against central rules which say that those convicted of rape cannot be given bail remission.
These images of 11 men convicted of rape and murder being fed laddus as they walked out of prison this Independence Day has sparked outrage. They were convicted for a horrific set of crimes. The gang rape of Bilkis Bano during the Gujarat riots and also for the murder of 7 members of her family, including her 3-year-old daughter.
हमारे परिवार वालों को मारने लगे, कुछ सब पकड़ के कपड़े फाड़ डाले सबके, फिर सबको मार डाला मेरे सामने, फिर मैं बेहोश हो गई.
The punishment for the men, life sentence. But the men who have spent over 14 years in prison were released as part of Gujarat government policy which allows prisoners who have served over 14 years to apply for early release. Their release has shocked Bilkis's lawyer, who was part of a long and hard battle for justice.
There is no reasoning in the judgment, so to say, why not 14, why not 2022? Why Gujarat? Why not CBI? Because this is a CBI prosecuting a case, CBI investigated, CBI prosecuted, that too after the investigation being transferred by Supreme Court to CBI.
The Congress has pointed out the hypocrisy of the release.
प्रधानमंत्री के मुंह से निकले गए उन नारी सम्मान, नारी शक्ति के शब्दों के बाद कुछ घंटों बाद यही अभियुक्त मिले थे इन्हें रिहा करने के, जो कि बलात्कार जैसे गंभीर संगीन आरोप में अभियुक्त बने हों. तो यह तो सोच समझ कर किया गया है.
But even as these men walked out, Union Home Ministry documents show that the centre may in fact not be in favour of releasing those accused of rape or those sentenced to life imprisonment. A Home Ministry document from June this year shows that the centre issued guidelines to states proposing a special release policy for convicted prisoners to coincide with the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Amongst the categories of prisoners that were not to be released under the special release policy were those sentenced to life imprisonment and those convicted of rape. The accused in the Bilkis Bano case were in all probability not released under this policy and were released as per an older Gujarat state government policy in keeping with a Supreme Court order. But the centre's guidelines does establish that the centre is opposed to releasing rape convicts and those sentenced to life imprisonment. NDTV Bureau Report.
Outrage also growing over the horrific murder of a little child, a 9-year-old boy who was a Dalit, killed by his teacher because he apparently drank water from the upper caste teacher's pot. This has become a huge issue. The family also, when they went to complain, were lathi charged and chased away by police. Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot is under pressure not just from the opposition but from his own party. Arch detractor within the party, Sachin Pilot, went to visit the boy's family today and said that there has to be a way in which families from the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes can reach out to the government. And another Congress MLA is quit, saying that he's been hurt by this scheduled caste boy's death. The BJP has also attacked Ashok Gehlot, who's now sent his own delegation of ministers and the state party president to the village.
हमें चाहते हैं कि इस दुख की घड़ी में हम सब उनके साथ खड़े रहें। बात राहुल गांधी जी की नहीं है, चाहे कांग्रेस पार्टी हो चाहे कोई व्यक्ति हो, इसमें राजनीति करना उचित नहीं है। लेकिन जो घटना हुई है उसका संज्ञान लेकर उसको उचित कार्रवाई करनी पड़ेगी और भविष्य में खासकर हमारे दलित आदिवासी समाज के लोग, भाइयों बहनों को, परिवारों को ऐसा ना लगे कि उनके लिए जो हम लोगों ने प्रावधान करे हैं वो कहीं कमजोर हैं। तो इस प्रकार की घटनाओं से बहुत मनोबल कमजोर होता है, लेकिन हम सब साथ खड़े हैं दलित समाज के और उन सब लोगों को न्याय दिलाने के लिए कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ेंगे। जो मदद है, सहायता है, सहयोग है, वो भी हम लोग करवाएंगे। लेकिन आज तो इस दुख को बांटने के लिए हम लोग यहाँ पर आए हैं।
जो जालौर में घटना हुई है बेहद निंदनीय है, बहुत ही घटिया हरकत है। वहाँ पर एक बच्चे की जान ले ली गई। इस तरह से इस मानसिकता को तोड़ना पड़ेगा। लेकिन ये अकेली घटना नहीं है, ये घटना राजस्थान के अंदर हर रोज हो रही है और हर रोज इसलिए हो रही है क्योंकि बार बार जो जिम्मेदारी राज्य सरकार की है वो जिम्मेदारी राज्य सरकार नहीं निभा रही। गहलोत साहब ने जालौर की घटना पे क्या कहा? उन्होंने कहा ये तो छोटी सी बात है।
Absolutely horrific crime there. Meanwhile, moving to Karnataka, where in a fresh embarrassment for the Bommai government, the law minister's leaked audio has been caught on tape, with the law minister saying, "We're not running the government, we're just managing it for the 8 months before elections." Another minister has now called for the law minister's resignation. The chief minister says all will be sorted out soon.
A fresh controversy for Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai. In a purported audio leak, his law minister J.C. Madhuswamy is heard telling a social worker that the BJP government in Karnataka is not being run, just simply being managed.
ಸರ್ಕಾರ ನಡೀತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಹಾ ಸರ್.
ಸಲೀಸ್ ಹಾಕಿ 8 ತಿಂಗಳು ಅಂತ
ಹಾ ಸರ್
ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಕಣಪ್ಪ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾವು.
The comments made by the minister came after the social worker complained to the minister about farmers being charged high interest by the bank.
ಹೌದು
ಸರ್, ನಮಸ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಭಾಸ್ಕರ್ ಅಂತ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ ಚನ್ನಪಟ್ಟಣದಿಂದ ಸರ್. ಸರ್, ಇದು VSSN ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 50,000 ಸಾಲ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ರೈತರು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ರಿನ್ಯೂವಲ್ಗೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 1,300 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ನವರೇ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿಗಳೇ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅವರೇ ಫುಲ್ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ನ ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆ 1,300 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಬಡ್ಡಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂತ ಇದಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಲ್ ಓವರ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲೇ.
ಏನಪ್ಪ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನನಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತು.
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಸೋಮಶೇಖರ್ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
ಸರ್,
ಬಡ್ಡಿ ಹೊಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ತಿಂತಾವ್ರೆ, ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ತಗರ್ತಾವ್ರೆ, ಅದ್ರೂ ಬಡ್ಡಿ ತಟ್ಟಿಸ್ಕೊಂತಾವ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ.
ಸರ್,
ಅವ್ರೇನು ಕ್ರಮ ಜರುಗಿಸ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ನಾವು?
This at a time when the chief minister has been rocked by allegations of being a puppet chief minister, serving his time till he is replaced. The BJP has denied this, as has the chief minister. But the law minister's audio has revived the controversy. Speaking to the press, Mr. Bommai acknowledged the tape, but played down its implications.
ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆ ಕಂಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೇ ಬೇರೆ, ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ತಪ್ಪರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು 3 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ ಕೋಆಪರೇಟಿವ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ವಿಷಯಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿದೆ, ಏನೂ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟಾಕ್ ಟು ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸೆಟಲ್.
J.C. Madhuswamy, the law minister, speaking to reporters, said he was provoked by the social worker to say that there's no government.
ಅವ್ರು ಅಂದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಅಂದಿದ್ದೀನ ಮರೆ ಆ ಪ್ರೊವೊಕೇಶನ್ ಅವನೇನು ಅಂದಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಹೂಕಂಬಿಡಪ್ಪ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ನಡೀತಿಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ನು ಯಾವ್ದು ಎಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ನೋ ಯಾವ್ದು ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ ನನಗೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತೇಳ್ರಿ.
But other BJP ministers have asked for the law minister to quit.
ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅನ್ನಂಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಕೂಡಲೇ ಸಚಿವ ಸ್ಥಾನಕ್ಕೆ ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿಕೆಗಳು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಭಾಗ, ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಅಂಶದಲ್ಲೂ ಅವರು ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ವಿಷಯದಲ್ಲೂ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಏನಾರ ಹೇಳಿಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಪಾಲ್ದಾರ.
The Congress repeated its puppet CM allegations.
Madhuswamy has spoken the truth that there is no government, we are just pulling along. The message is clear. The people are fed up with the BJP government in Karnataka.
Law Minister J.C. Madhuswamy's brazen comments on not functioning of the government brings the question back to whether there will be a leadership change or not. However, once again, Bommai has stepped in for a damage control. In Bengaluru, with camera person Govind Murthy, Shrija for NDTV.
Well, at least he doesn't have a powerful deputy chief minister. That's what's happening now in both Bihar and Maharashtra, where Tejasvi Yadav, the deputy chief minister, has got a majority share of key portfolios, his party as well, and the same for the BJP in Maharashtra, where Devendra Fadnavis since day one has been accused of being the real chief minister as deputy CM. But both these powerful deputy chief ministers there as this post gets new relevance. So let's look at what's happening in Bihar today. Well, Bihar's new cabinet was sworn in. The chief minister keeps the key portfolio of home, and his party, the Janata Dal United, gets the key portfolio of finance. However, the rest of the main portfolios, in fact, the majority of the portfolios have gone to Tejasvi Yadav's party, the RJD, given that they have the larger numbers.
As the new ministry was sworn in for the new alliance in Bihar, a big markup for Deputy Chief Minister Tejasvi Yadav and a demotion for his elder brother Tej Pratap Yadav. Tejasvi has been given 4 crucial ministries, an upgrade from last time. But Tej Pratap, who had 3 ministries in 2015, gets just 1 ministry, Environment.
Tej Pratap's demotion is also a clear signal that Tejasvi is now in charge in the RJD. Sources say the allocation is also a reflection of Mr. Tej Pratap's track record as health minister between 2015 to 2017, when the opposition BJP always used to accuse him of reluctant minister.
ये सरकार गरीब की सरकार है, जनता की सरकार है और महागठबंधन की सरकार है, जिसका नेतृत्व नीतीश कुमार जी कर रहे हैं और हम सब लोग मिल करके इस सरकार को बखूबी ढंग से चलाने का काम करेंगे. और जब से नई सरकार का गठन हुआ है तब से मुद्दों की बात हो रही है, रोजगार की बात हो रही है, तो ये खुशी की बात है.
Overall, over 30 ministers took oath today in batches of 5. The RJD, as the bigger party, got 16, the JDU got 11. Though Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has retained the home portfolio, meaning the police continues reporting to him, a key development considering the BJP's Jungle Raj Babs at the RJD. The party has also got the key finance portfolio. The BJP though was critical.
बिहार की जनता के साथ विश्वासघात हुआ है, बिहार की भाजपा के साथ विश्वासघात हुआ है, बिहार के विकास के साथ विश्वासघात हुआ है और इस विश्वासघात पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी कदापि चुप नहीं रहने वाली. सड़क से सदन तक हम संघर्ष करने वाले हैं.
As always, the social mix of the cabinet reflected the alliance's political priorities. 70s are OBCs or from the extremely backward caste subgrouping, including 8 Yadav ministers. 5 ministers are Muslims, 5 ministers are from the scheduled castes, while only 6 are from the upper castes. Caste equations apart, the big challenge for the Nitish Kumar, Tejasvi Yadav government will be to perform in the next 2 years. With Habib Ali and Manish Kumar, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
And in Delhi, Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP President JP Nadda are chairing a meeting with the core group of Bihar BJP leaders. The hunt is on now for the BJP's new strategy in Bihar and a face who can challenge Nitish Kumar in the countdown to 2024. Well, in news from Maharashtra, and a viral video, abusive words used by Shinde Sena MLA Santosh Bangar, and a video of him questioning the quality of food and slapping the manager, the catering manager there, when he was asked about the quality of food. Bizarrely, this MLA is speaking to Sohit Mishra and even defends his slapping of this catering manager.
जे गोरगरीब लोक सकाळपासून संध्याकाळपर्यंत काम करतात आणि कष्ट करतात आणि ज्या लोकांना तुम्हाला सांगतो की महाराष्ट्र शासनाने अतिशय चांगल्या प्रकारचं चांगल्या उच्च दर्जाचं जेवण दिलेलं आहे, पण कॉन्ट्रॅक्टदार आणि संबंधित अधिकारी तुम्हाला सांगतो की मिली भगत करून हे गोरगरीब लोकांना जेवण चांगलं देत नाहीत. त्या जेवणामध्ये काकडी नाही, गाजर नाही, गूळ नाही, चवळी नाही, वटाणा नाही. त्याच्यात ज्या जेवणामध्ये तुम्हाला सांगतो की करपलेली भाकरी, खराब झालेली डाळ आणि खराब झालेला तांदूळ, हे जर तुम्ही जेवण जर बघितलं तर तुम्हाला सांगतो की अक्षरशः.
Absolutely bizarre defense there by that Sena MLA of him slapping that catering manager. Meanwhile, bad news on prices. Market leader Amul has hiked milk prices by 2 rupees. That will be effective from tomorrow across India, followed by Mother Dairy, which in the evening has also hiked prices by 2 rupees. This is second 2 rupees hike in milk prices this year. Mother Dairy has blamed the heat wave, extended summer for the higher feed and fodder costs, but for the average customer, this is yet another blow to their pockets.
When you leave your home tomorrow to buy milk, please carry extra 2 rupee because Mother Dairy and Amul, both the companies have increased the rate of per litre milk by 2 rupee. Right now we are standing in the Mother Dairy booth. From tomorrow onwards, if you are going to buy a litre of toned milk, then it will cost you 51 rupee. Till today it is 49 rupee. Full cream milk will cost you 53 rupee. As of now, it is 51 rupee per litre. And according to the press release of Mother Dairy has written that they have compelled to increase the rate because the processing cost has increased. The raw material they are getting, the milk, it has increased by 10 to 12% per litre. So, and the extended summer have also contributed to it. The fodder is also is costly. That is why they have to raise the price. So you can see from tomorrow onwards, tomorrow is 17th of August, you will have to pay extra 2 rupee to buy a litre of Mother Dairy and Amul milk. And we'll speak with few people also, and we'll understand from them that how they see this price rise.
Well, let's go across to what's happening in markets. The Sensex has gained 379 points, ending at 59,842. The Nifty gaining 127 points. Auto and realty shares have surged the most. This as wholesale inflation has eased to 13.93% in July versus over 15% in June. Wholesale inflation, however, is in double digits for the 16th straight month. That's over a year. Food inflation is at 10.77% in July versus 14.39% in June. This coming just as milk prices. A hike was announced by both Mother Dairy and Amul. And well, this is a rare sight when a crocodile has come out on the streets of this Madhya Pradesh town. This has been above normal rain across Madhya Pradesh. I'm sorry. So here you can see, befuddled residents there as this crocodile is caught in this town of the Shivpuri district.